everybody, welcome. I'm Sir Crosspad, and I'm going to play me some Metroid Prime 4. This is now my second playthrough of the game. So keep in mind, I'm going to be talking about a lot of spoilers, because I am a self-appointed lore expert on this game, and I'm not even joking about that. Like, I've delved into the story so deep. I've done research on quantum physics and black hole theory and Hinduism and all kinds of stuff to put together what is going on with the story in this game. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're gonna start by going to Tower 2 here in Volt Forge, because that's where I left off last time. I got myself all caught up because it's been little months since I last streamed this. Again, I beat it since that time, and yeah, there's a lot. There's so much going on in the story of this game. All right then. Let me see. Let me switch over so I can see y'all in Twitch chat in case you say stuff and do stuff. All right. So, first thing's this hallway. Love the music here, man. The music here is crazy. We're gonna go fight some Cybots. So first thing, I kind of went over this a little bit, but I was just barely figuring this out. If you look very closely at these guys, right? They look, number one, they look like Weevil's Morph Ball from Metroid Prime Hunters, all right? Oh wait, you'd say, but Weevil's not colored that. Weevil's not purple and blue. Weevil's like army green and has like gold accents on Weevil's armor from Metroid Prime Hunters. Yes, but Weevil is a space pirate, that is canon. This is the same color scheme as the space pirates from Metroid Prime 3. So, yeah, that's one of the first things. It's a Denzard, resilient creature. So it also has the scythe tail. So Weevil's signature attack is a scythe blade. There are multiple creatures in this game that are like this, and they point to the hunters from Metroid Prime Hunters. So keep that in mind going forward. One of the things that I've been saying recently is that a lot of people want a remake of Metroid Prime 2 to be the next thing that they make. The thing is, what would be faster and more feasible, in my opinion, especially since they hired the guy who made the party system from Halo 2 onto Retro's staff full time. At least if they kept him, hopefully. They need online multiplayer, for one. For two, they need to reimagine the story of Hunters so that it ties in with this game, because this game has so many clues pointing to Metroid Prime Hunters, because, you know, Sylux is the main villain. Why is Sylux's attack not seen in the gallery? Are you talking about the lockjaw, or are you talking about the shock coil, Chris Blue? No, I didn't beat the game on hard mode, and I'm not playing it on hard mode now. I'm more in it for the story and the narrative. Also, these guys can be a real pain in the behind. Come on, where are you guys at? Can you come through that window? Okay, I gotta walk further forward. Hello there, Cybots. Yeah, but let me know what you're talking about specifically with Sylux's attacks that aren't seen in the gallery at the beginning. Ow, that was 50 damage. That was another 50 damage. I gotta stay on my toes. How much damage? That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, there's 3 more. So his dramatic entrance. Are you talking about the final boss fight? So like the weird tentacles that come out of Sylux during the final boss fight in the game? Because I do have some thoughts about those, and I can't explain them. So one of the reasons why I think those weird tentacles that come out of Sylux at the end of the game are not seen in the gallery at all, even after you beat the game, is because I think they very heavily tie into what they eventually want to be Metroid Prime 5. It hasn't been confirmed that Metroid Prime 5 is in the works. Based on the sales of the game, it very well may not end up in the works for a good long time. I know that Nintendo isn't like full-on planning on canceling Metroid Prime as a franchise. Oh, the visions Samus gets throughout the game. Okay, no, that's easy. You guys are throwing me softball questions about the lore. All right, so the biggest thing to note about the vision of Sylux at the end of the game, okay, is that is a vision of the future for Samus, but it is a vision of the past for Sylux. Okay? Sylux has been time traveling ever since Metroid Prime Hunters. That's the thing. All right, here's my evidence though. When the biggest piece of evidence is when Sylux is talking to his superior officer in that scene. The superior officer, the Federation commander, brings up a hologram of Samus, and he tells Sylux, or at least the Federation trooper who eventually becomes Sylux, you're supposed to wait for Samus and her team. But a hologram of Samus pops up when the commanding officer says that. If that was a flashback of a time before Metroid Prime Hunters, presumably, because he hadn't become Sylux yet. Samus's suit in that hologram should have been her suit from Metroid Prime 1. It is not her suit from Metroid Prime 1. It is her suit from Metroid Prime 4. So that scene happens immediately after Samus gets back from Vuros. Or not immediately necessarily, but very soon after she gets back. Okay, so his first appearance before you go to planet Vuros. So you're talking about his shock coil in that case. When he shoots the artifact. In that scenario, Sylux shot the artifact on purpose. He did not miss, as a lot of people speculate. Oh, these little doodles. Get away, minions. So if you're talking about the shock coil, I have a lot to say about the shock coil as well. So the shock coil is supposed to be banned Federation technology, right? Apparently, even though they banned it, they kept developing it over time because Sylux doesn't steal the shock coil until well into the future. Let's see, there's so many of these dudes. Y'all are doing too much damage. I don't like how much damage you're doing. Stop rolling. Okay. So now I need... Where you at? The best beam to deal with this. Bonk. Oof, ouch. This is, hold on, we'll get to the shock coil in a second. I don't want to die here. Health is low right now. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna have to scan those later. I know I'm supposed to scan everything, but I kind of forgot to scan stuff because I was too busy gabbing. So Digital Classics Explorer saying, I'm not entirely sure the depiction of Samus in the scene would be accurate depiction of the time stand. The room in Fury Green was supposed to show the Guardian before their Metroid fusions. I understand where you're coming from. However, the story and the visual design in this game is a lot more consistent and cohesive than a lot of people give it credit for. That's the wrong room. I do have other evidence as well for that claim. There's that planet that battle scene takes place on is Tanamon. It's got the same aesthetic. It's got the same like volcanic soil. It's got, you know, just kind of the barren wasteland and the clouded overcastness. In addition, there are golem mechs on the battlefield. Golem mechs would not have appeared in the Metroid timeline until well after Metroid Prime Hunters. Because the golem mechs were developed after Phazon was depleted and the Federation didn't have Phazon enhancement device technology any longer. And the Phazon enhancement device technology is what everything centers on in Metroid Prime 3. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna ominously show up in my window. Good. Well, that's a rude elevator ride. Yeah, the golem mechs. I have a theory that the golem mechs were actually developed after the Federation did heavy research into the Moganar golems that the Brionian people used from Metroid Prime 3. So those big like stone golems on Brio that were essentially like giant war machines that they used to, you know, fight when it was, you know, science versus no science in the lore of the planet Brio. Yeah. So the golem mechs as well, if that were a flashback all the way back before Hunters, those golem mechs shouldn't be on the battlefield at all. Because if they were, that would be inconsistent to the timeline of Metroid Prime. So I'm not really entirely sure what you're getting at as far as the Metroids that are fused to all the bosses in the game, because everything that takes place on Vuros itself is outside of normal space-time. Based on the logo from this game, this entire game takes place in a black hole. And space-time is completely warped and different from, you know, black hole, from normal space-time that isn't in a black hole, essentially. Jump in here. So why does Sylux follow Samus at the end to be a reverse flashback? Again, whoever that Federation soldier is who eventually becomes Sylux, he time travels at some point. And as far as like, how does he time travel? Why does he time travel? It's again, it gets into a lot of theory stuff that hasn't like officially been confirmed in any capacity. So let me get into let's dive deep into Sylux's character, because he's probably one of the biggest question marks in the entirety of this game. People didn't feel like he had a satisfying arc, and people were left with a lot more questions than answers about Sylux. So all of Sylux's attacks, if you pay close attention, the vast majority of them steal your health. And that was the case even in Metroid Prime Hunters. Now in Hunters, people didn't really delve into it, but even that clue in Metroid Prime Hunters was how I forgot. I'm not supposed to go there until the electricity's cleared. So the biggest clue for Metroid Prime Hunters that's going to serve as the first thread in this big old puzzle is that Sylux's shock coil fires highly dense, highly concentrated bursts of sustained neutrinos. Neutrinos, as we know them in quantum physics, are some of the most mysterious subatomic particles that we've managed to discover. Kind of in the same league as the Higgs boson, or is it boson or boson? I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but these are subatomic particles that are, big deals in quantum physics. So neutrinos, a lot of, well, maybe not a lot of physicists, but some physicists have kind of jokingly referred to neutrinos as the vampires of quantum physics. And it's not for the reason that you think, and it's not for the reason that Sylux steals your health. The reason in quantum physics, ouch, that did so much damage. Why did that do so much? Hey. But the reason why they're referred to as the vampires of subatomic particles in quantum physics, ouchie, stop that, give my health back, is because they don't have like the same properties. In physics in general, subatomic particles have kind of like an equal and opposite counterparts to each other. Dang it, I keep falling. Keep down. But the subatomic particles, neutrinos specifically, they don't, at least as far as we've discovered, they don't have like an equal and opposite counterpart. Like there aren't like positive, there aren't neutrinos with an upspin and there aren't neutrinos with a downspin. There's only neutrinos with one type of spin. And in quantum physics, they refer to it as being left-handed or right-handed. The only neutrinos we've discovered are left-handed. So on a universal scale, I managed to get the fruits with just my aim. I've never done that. So because neutrinos don't have kind of like a mathematical mirror image, essentially, they're referred to as vampires because, in war, vampires have no reflection, right? They can't see themselves in a mirror because they're supposed to have other worlds, dead and spirit-based. So that's important. The fact that neutrinos are referred to as the vampires of the quantum world. It has to do with them not having an equal reflection mathematically. And because of that, they kind of took that concept in Metroid Prime Hunters and really ran with it, with the life drain stuff. Now, if you think about it, Metroids are kind of vampires, but for life force energy, right? They latch onto your face, they hug your face, they drain your health. In addition, Sylux has multiple other attacks that steal your energy tanks as well. Sylux absolutely is spliced with Metroid DNA. There's also a lot of, attachments to Metroid Fusion in this game, like Digital Classics Explorer was mentioning earlier, and that's important. Sylux is fused with Metroid DNA for certain. Like, his attacks are all too life draining and similar. In addition, his morph ball is called the lockjaw. The lockjaw, I mean, what do Metroids latch onto your face with? They have like these weird little mandible things. They lock onto your face, lockjaw style, and they siphon off your energy. Some of Sylux's most devastating attacks in this game, he goes into lockjaw mode and he just starts ripping your energy tanks out of your suit, basically, and then he steals them for himself and heals huge chunks of health for himself. Scans detect an electrical shock arm cannon. Further analysis blocked by a powerful psychic chain. Yeah, so these beams that this, Cybot that's disguised as Sylux is shooting, these are not the same neutrinos that he fired on in the final boss fight. In this game. Now that we've established that Sylux is spliced with Metroid DNA, for certain, because the other hint there is that there's a group of very dedicated Metroid fans that refer to themselves as the Shine Sparklers on the internet. They've done a lot of in-depth interviews with a lot of different people who were involved in the creation of the Metroid Prime series. And Ow! Come on, bro. Throw me a bone. Essentially, given that information, that Sylux is part Metroid in their suit, and in the Shine Sparkers interview, the guy who wrote the story for Metroid Prime Hunters, he kind of gave some interesting wording concerning Sylux's character, and the interesting wording has to do with, he basically said, like we've written a lot of story threads about Sylux, and there's a lot of mystery around what's hidden underneath that suit, and we can't wait to show you what's underneath the suit. So if he was just some angry soldier dude, right? There's not really any reason why the person who wrote Sylux's backstory would be super excited to show you what's underneath the suit, right? The main reason why he would be excited to show you what's underneath the suit is because there's something exciting and interesting underneath the suit, not just some angry soldier. That something underneath the suit is what I believe. And this is speculation on my part, but it is based on all of what I've said. You know how Metroid Prime looks at the end of Metroid Prime 2? How you see her armor and it's like see-through, and then there's like a skeleton underneath, and it's very like Metroid, but also humanoid at the same time. Hey, what's up, V? Welcome. I believe what's under the suit with Sylux looks like that. I think that he's so fused with Metroid DNA and it's progressed so far that he essentially is becoming the next Metroid Prime. That's my theory. So I was completely wrong that Dark Samus was going to be the villain of the game. However, there is still the shadow of Dark Samus lurking in the story in this game. She's not completely absent. She's just related to the history of Vuros. She's not an active part of the story. So yeah, that's my working theory, and it's based on a lot of the powers that Sylux gets. Because again, at the end of the game, he gets those weird like black tentacles. You know, Metroid Prime doesn't have black tentacles in Metroid Prime 1, but she does have, you know, black spidery crab legs, I guess. And you know, his version of that just manifests differently than hers does, because the nature of the Metroid mutation is probably different, because it was probably afflicted upon Sylux by, you know, Galactic Federation scientists carrying out kind of dark secret experiments on him. And I also feel like that's likely where his hatred for the Federation stems from. So that's the working theory. So Metroid Prime is not absent from this game, as a lot of people speculate. It's just Sylux is slowly becoming the new. I want to go into morphball mode. Thank you. I wanted to scan this guy. Cybot with an energy shield equipped to its left arm that reflects beam attacks. The shield can be removed with a forceful pull. Alright, don't have the grapple lasso right now, so... we can shoot behind it. Shoot it in the back, so to speak. Oh! Okay, already got regular Cybots, so we lose. Right. There's one. There's two. And there's three. That beam moves fast. with its warpage of space time. Okay. Nope, wrong button. Lock on. Recalibrate the aim. There we go. Alright. So we've answered questions about Sylux's neutrino beam and how it's related to him being a Metroid, or fused with Metroid DNA, rather. We've also answered questions about the 100% ending. So as far as like the what, so how did, if this is all true, how did Sylux get to Virus? Like, how did he know to even look for the various Federation research stations? It could be that he hacked into things. It could be related to some time anomaly stuff. But the biggest thread that I feel like a lot of people overlook, it's actually kind of simple. In the 100% ending for Metroid Prime 3, when I go over this, when I finish Metroid Prime 3 in the last streams of that time, Sylux's ship appears at the very end and chases Samus's ship into the cosmos. These guys do so much damage, man. Whoa. Oh, the turrets. I'll just whittle y'all down to one. You took a lot of health. That was a lot of damage. So anyway, what I was saying, 100% ending of Metroid Prime 3. Sylux's ship shows up, follows Samus's ship in its coverage. In Metroid Prime Hunters, when Sylux's ship shows up, it is very distinctly the color scheme of like the bright green, kind of like the green energy, right? Plus like a deep indigo color, more like his armor, right? At the end of Metroid Prime 3, Sylux's ship, which was confirmed by Kensuke Tanabe to be Sylux's ship it's not indigo like it was in Metroid Prime Hunters. It is very distinctly a bold Phazon cyan, which tells me that Sylux is either, like, his ship is either in hyper mode or it's been corrupted by Phazon somehow. Based on how stable it remained, I imagine it's probably some kind of hyper mode integration using Phazon. So at the end of that game, Sylux was corrupted. Okay? So Metroid Prime, at the end of Metroid Prime 3, we may have defeated her. And we were supposed to have definitively defeated her and rid the galaxy of Phazon. Phazon lived on in some capacity in Sylux. And I think that's because, much like the way Metroid Prime possessed the three hunters that are kind of big bosses in Metroid Prime 3. So those three hunters were Grundus, the ice guy, Gore, the cyborg guy with the giant robots, and then Gandrada, who was the shapeshifter of the three. Dark Samus / Metroid Prime possesses all three of those hunters. And then once you defeat them during their final fights, Dark Samus absorbs their beam entirely. I think Sylux is possessed in the exact same way. I just think that because Sylux has these unique properties given to him by his suit, and is also fused with Metroid DNA, Metroid Prime / Dark Samus opted to stay inside of Sylux, rather than, have Samus kill him and absorb him, because be far... Yeah, it does say neutrinos. And again, like they're very highly theoretical subatomic particles in quantum physics. We know very little about them. And discovering more about them is incredibly difficult because they're incredibly hard to detect. And any experiments that try and detect them and gather data on them take a very, very long time because neutrinos pass through everything. Every second, literally billions of neutrinos pass through your body and through the entirety of the Earth. But they're passing through like the subatomic spaces between spaces. So they're so tiny that it's very rare that they collide with any other subatomic particles. When they do, however, they release certain flashes of light. Well, they don't release flashes of light, but the subatomic collisions produce flashes of light that are barely detectable, but they are detectable. They're just incredibly mysterious and hard to detect. The main source of neutrino detection that we have currently is a giant station that's set up in Antarctica. And basically the station uses the entirety of Antarctica's ice cap in order to detect a few neutrinos colliding with particles in the massive ice cap in Antarctica. So, yeah, neutrinos are incredibly mysterious. But, you know, narratively, within the science fiction of Metroid, they chose to go with a very literal interpretation of the kind of offhand, jokingly referring to neutrinos as the vampires of the quantum realm. And it's because, again, they don't have a mathematical reflection, so to speak. They're only left-handed. So as far as their quantum superposition is concerned, quantum superposition and quantum entanglement, you only ever find neutrinos with one direction of spin. So they refer to them as left-handed subatomic particles. It's fascinating stuff. This game's story, the reason why so many people miss it and they think that this game doesn't have a story to speak of is simply because the base knowledge that you need to have to be able to decipher it is pretty big. You don't have to have like a full-on, PhD in astrophysics or quantum physics to be able to understand what they're trying to get at in the narrative of Metroid Prime 4. But you do have to at least have watched a good number of YouTube videos about quantum physics and at least attempted to wrap your head around it. Because I'm not a physicist. I'm not very good at mathematics. But I'm just barely, able to kind of grasp what they're trying to get at with neutrinos in Sylux's weapon loading, I guess. Wobble. All right, time to go get our license. And also, the thing is, a lot more people, a lot more physicists refer to neutrinos as the ghosts or the phantoms of the quantum realm. That take is actually a lot more common, and I don't know if because they didn't actually discover definitive proof of the existence of neutrinos until the early 2000s. So the subatomic theory that the writer for Metroid Prime Hunters was dealing with was like in its infancy, because quantum physicists had just barely even proved that neutrinos even exist. The theory that neutrinos existed, that appeared all the way back in the 1930s. I forgot the name of the scientist who posited their existence, but we didn't actually prove the existence of neutrinos until the early 2000s, around the time when they would have been writing the story for Metroid Prime Hunters. But those are just the... Oh, I was supposed to boost. Those are just like the bits of evidence that I have that Sylux has Metroid DNA spliced. The other interesting thing about neutrinos is that there are some physicists who theorize that the sort of double helix pattern of DNA might have something to do with the properties of neutrinos. And that's because neutrinos have a very, very unique ability to do what's called oscillation between three different flavors of neutrinos. And these three different flavors of neutrinos are based on what are called leptons. And leptons are subatomic particles that only seem to interact with the weak atomic force that we can observe within the universe. So other leptons are electrons, muons, and taus. Right? So just like there are electrons, muons, and taus, there are three different flavors of neutrinos. Each one rarer and harder to detect than the last. There's the base neutrino, then there's the muon neutrino, and then there's the tau neutrino. The weird thing about neutrinos is based on the math that astrophysicists have done surrounding the data that they've collected on neutrinos, is neutrinos have the unique ability to oscillate between these three different flavors of other neutrinos, so muon neutrino and tau neutrino. And they're able to do it just kind of on the fly whenever they want. And the craziest thing about this is that they shift their mass whenever they do this. This is the only subatomic particle that we currently know of that can just shift its mass. Just like change its mass on the fly. And it oscillates between that mass. So the mathematical oscillation pattern, wavelengths that it forms, weirdly, as far as the mathematics are concerned, seem to reflect how the double helix works with DNA. So based on that concept, and the weird like double helix pattern in Sylux's beam in the final boss fight, because again, that's not an electrical beam in the final boss fight, that's a neutrino beam. But it kind of looks like a helix pattern. And that helix pattern, again, reflects the idea that Sylux is spliced with Metroid DNA. That there's some weird attachment between Sylux and his DNA. In addition, that DNA helix neutrino beam that he fires off in the final boss fight, it drains your health, and it sucks a lot of health out of you. Not just a little. In addition, it's the same kind of greenish blue color, kind of like that aqua green color that all of the Metroids in this game are. So both the Metroids that are effectively impregnating all of the guardians of Vuros, as well as the Metroids at the very beginning. So there's a lot of clues. There's a lot of clues and hints that Sylux is spliced with Metroid DNA. He's going to become the new Metroid Prime, and we're going to be witnessing that both from the present and the future in Metroid Prime 5. Fingers crossed, assuming there is a Metroid Prime 5 that eventually happens. Because with the toxicity of how this fan base has received Metroid Prime 4, I'm concerned that they're going to scare Nintendo off of even starting Metroid Prime 5, at least for another good long while, until they're able to go back to the drawing board and reassess the franchise's future. I don't like that's what we're dealing with. Up to you. Come on, what? I don't remember these guys going this fast the last time I dealt with them. They're really booking it. What on earth? Come on. Supposed to do? I'm boosting every time I get a boost. Every time I pick up one of the booster pickups. I missed it. Oh, come on, man. What is that? He just jumped over my head? Folks, what is happening? Did they patch this so that these are faster and harder to catch? What is happening? Wow. I'm boosting every single time. What on earth, man? Do I need to go the other direction? It's like, this is absurd. Why are they so fast? Okay, I got two, so I have to anticipate when they're sneaking up behind me, and I have to hit them that way. Because I can't catch up with them. Comes one on my radar. Nope. around or respawn behind me. Hopefully I can snag you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they patched this. These guys are way faster than they were. There was no need to do that. That's the wrong thing to patch, guys. Oh, I missed it already. Playing Madoka Magica while playing this. I didn't know they made a Madoka Magica game. Are you talking about a Madoka Magica game, or are you talking about a just like the anime? Madoka Magica, the anime is a trip. They made a game. That's even more trip. Why do you have to come along the side? Just there's no way. I have to catch them as they're coming behind me. I gotta save my boost. I gotta let them drive off. Go ahead and drive off. Are you gonna eat dinner? Alright, enjoy your dinner, Chris. Oh my goodness. Are you serious here? Side. I just need one more. Why you gotta be so tricky? And I can't shoot my discs either. The only thing I can do is boost. Wait. Okay, I'm supposed to shoot it. I was pressing the wrong button for shoot. I was pressing X. Alright, there we go. Don't try and boost hit those things. That's the lesson we learned. The thing is, you can boost hit them fine in the desert, so like I didn't have any problem getting them with boost in the desert. Now that I'm remembering the mechanics of how this works. Made it past. Alright, so I hope I've provided enough proof as to why Sylux is going to become the next Metroid Prime. Kensuke Tanabe said that he did want time travel mechanics in this game, but I think the Switch 1's hardware probably didn't allow that. Probably brought up a lot of roadblocks. So I imagine the actual time travel hopefully is going to be reserved for the next game, and I would like to even see like a visor that can detect temporal anomalies and all kinds of stuff like that. That would be really cool. If we could get like something called the chrono visor or something of that nature. But yeah, we're gonna be fighting Sylux from both the past and the future. So his Federation Trooper version, where he's defecting and starting to develop his severe and raw hatred for the Federation, and then his future self, like the one we fight in this game. The one that has been fully corrupted by Dark Samus' influence, as well as his Metroid DNA and all that stuff. Ow, can you please not? Down. Jump down. And now it's time to fight the boost ball boss. It's really weird that they chose to even preserve the lore from Federation Force in this game. Because Metroid Prime Federation Force also... so there's this mode in Metroid Prime Federation Force called Blast Ball. So not Boost Ball, Blast Ball. And in Blast Ball, you essentially have to it's kind of like Rocket League. That's a good way to describe it. It's kind of like Rocket League in that ow. Who, where, what, why, I, okay. Oh, it's the little rat thing. I forgot those came out. But the boost ball or the blast ball mode, the weird ball, the weird Rocket League looking ball that they have in blast ball, it looks like the boss that I'm about to pop in and fight. Interesting. The other weird detail is I'm not 100% certain on this, but the core of this giant supercomputer boss that I'm gonna fight here is what's called an octolith. And if you don't know what an octolith is, they were basically the MacGuffins of Metroid Prime Hunters. They were the things that you had to collect. They were the things that were kind of the main like item that you needed to go through and get. But I promise you, there is an octolith at the center of this giant blast ball supercomputer. This thing also makes distinctly Metroid Prime. Even this thing. Metroid DNA! Oh no! Okay, I was able to get out. Took some damage, but not mine. Oh, I dodged that. Come on. No, I jumped to the side. I dodged that. I had to. Apparently I did. Probably just a school issue. Oh! same way you have to escape a Metroid. That weird electrical shock escape. Yeah, it even gets all like tricky and this attack. Oh, okay. Have better timing. nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Watch, there's an octolith in the center of this thing. Kaboom! What's left over? That's an octolith. If you've never seen an octolith from Metroid Prime Hunters, it's that thing. That thing looks like an octolith from Metroid Prime Hunters. They're a little more glowy and slightly more simplistic because, like, it's very low poly. But that's an octolith right there, which, I mean, there's so many like visual attachments to so many different things between different parts of the series. It's absolutely nuts. There's so much going on. But yeah, it's la 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 la. All right, psychic platforms can now be stood upon once they've materialized. We got the double jump / the platform spawny thingy. Yeah, the way that pattern forms, it's kind of crazy. Would not be surprised if that's based on some kind of mathematical equation. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Because that's the level of detail they put into this game. Wow. Yeah, so the other thing is, the reason why this plane looks kind of icy, if you really like take a look at it, like it's got those weird like cracks and those weird like watery light reflections, right? So on a quantum level, when neutrinos collide with something and it produces those flashes of light, it creates those spidery tendrils that look kind of like water. It's just in super fast motion that it happens. And there's also very strong reason to believe that part of the magnetic interaction of the sun with the northern lights as well, that neutrinos also have a part to play in those showing up as well. So, yeah. And then there's that snowflake pattern, which is probably in relation to some kind of visual quantum representation of the super symmetrical lattice that some quantum theorists talk about when they refer to the Higgs boson or boson. I don't know if it's boson or boson. Yeah, the Higgs boson / boson is extremely important, because without that subatomic particle, none of the matter that you see in the universe would exist. So yeah, there's a lot of like references visually to like quantum physics and stuff in this game. It's a lot deeper than most people realize. Double jumps! Yes! Full disclosure for anyone joining, there's a lot of spoilers in this stream for this game. This is my second playthrough, and I have gone through just about every single scan and 4-bit and visual metaphor and everything that they've built into this game. Everything is so like carefully crafted. It's crazy. We're gonna have to come back for you once we get the grapple lasso, but that's not gonna be for a while. So I kind of briefly went over this in my last stream that I did, and that was actually my first playthrough. I had to catch up my second playthrough to where I had left off in that stream before I started streaming. That's a small part of why it took me so long to get to it. But the Viola suit is very much Dark Samus coded as far as its visual design is concerned. It has a lot of the same shape language, as well as that pattern of like 3 right there. I mean, that's kind of representative of the third eye sort of thing. But it's like Dark Samus also has that pattern. It's just the Viola suit's pattern is actually inverted. So if you look at the Viola suit here, that 3-point pattern on her chest, Dark Samus has the same thing, but it's inverted, so it's upside down. So it'd be like an upside down triangle that's pointing down if you were to connect the dots, instead of a right side up triangle pointing up, like we see in Samus here. So if you notice right here, this morph ball that's in this hologram, that is the dark ball from Metroid Prime 2. But does our suit look like that? No, it doesn't. So why on earth is the dark ball? Well, if you look around the factory here, we're going to go back to Tower 1 to illustrate this for everybody. You know what, Tower 1 is going to be the other direction in a second. But when we go back to Tower 1, I'm going to scan the bikes that the factory here at Volt Forge is producing. Those bikes required a different suit than this one, because those bikes are the Mark V Viola bikes. This is the Mark VII Viola bike, based on the scans. So if you look up here, you can see these. Yeah, Lemourne Neurobike Mark V, Viola assembly complete, transferring to Tower 2, storage 208, test room. This is the Mark VII. So this must be the Mark VII suit, right? Of the Lemourne technology. The Mark V Lemourne suit is the dark suit from Metroid Prime 2, because all of the tech that appears in pretty much the entirety of the Metroid Prime universe originates from viewers. And that's the visual connection they're trying to establish. So what's the point of that? What's the big deal, right? The big deal there is that the dark suit was very heavily tied to the dark world, which is by proxy tied to Dark Samus. And even though the space pirates in Metroid Prime 2 did not wear Dark Samus's armor with this aesthetic, what there's a lot of dark pirates in Metroid Prime 2 that wear the dark suit, right? So it's very heavily tied to Dark Samus and the dark world of Ether. So again, the morph ball here, this would be the morph ball for the Mark V Viola suit, which is the dark suit from Metroid Prime 2, because the Luminoth, as well as the Chozo, as well as the Federation and a lot of the other alien races within the Metroid Prime franchise, get all of their major technological advancements from the Lemourne. That's just how it be. That's why every single game has, stuff that's compatible with Samus's suit as collectibles all over the place. If it wasn't from a common source and didn't have a common ancestor, so to speak, that wouldn't happen. So they're even justifying that. The other thing is, the Viola suit is very much like I can just murder you super fast. That makes it so much easier. Also, there's a missile expansion. Did I already get this? I did not. Yeah. That's a free missile expansion, by the way. Make sure you grab that. I didn't grab that when I first came in. I should have done that. But yeah, the other thing about the Viola suit is that it's very red coded, right? I feel that's because it's kind of, you know, you get a motorcycle in this game, right? And like it's the red is very like devil coded, very hell coded, and I feel like they didn't put horns on the helmet, right? Because that would have been too on the nose. The horns are on the boots, and you have one horn per boot. Let me see if I can get the lighting to catch. Yeah, you can see like that horn right there on her boot. It's very devil coded. The reason why is because for a very long time they've been kind of setting up Dark Samus as like the devil of the Metroid Prime universe. She's got a dark angel form in Metroid Prime 3, right? She possesses other beings and then absorbs their life force, right? I don't know. That's pretty devilish to me, right? Especially the possession thing. Ow! That hurt. Can I not? I can't shoot the boxes with my... Okay. So why is the whole devil thing relevant? Well, in addition to like quantum theory stuff that this game goes over, right? There's a lot of world religion stuff going on. There's lots of references to various world religions originating mostly from Asia, but there's even heavy references to the Great Spirit from Native American traditions as well. The first example of this, it's right there on the horizon, Chrono Tower. Chrono Tower, and I went over this a lot in my original stream, my first episode stream.
You found a teleporter key. Congratulations. Looks like there's 3 keys left.
Yep.
Up to you to decide which one to go after first.
Thanks, Miles. But Chrono Tower has that yoni symbology. And the yoni is supposed to be the source of divine feminine energy. It's based in Hindu traditions. For the most part, at least in my understanding, is correct. And that divine feminine energy is supposed to be called Kundalini, I guess. At least I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The other thing is we have the giant world tree, which that's present in a lot of world religions. You got Yggdrasil or Yggdrasil from Norse mythology. You got, hey, you guys were flying up on me. I was going to scan you when you left. Okay, so the next one's supposed to be Ice Belt, but I don't have the fire chip. So I should probably be going to bed. But in addition, you know, you have the devil thing's relevant because there's actually a lot of like Judeo-Christian references as well in this game. The giant tree with like the memory fruit, you know, like the forbidden fruit thing in the Torah / the Bible. And the giant tree is kind of analogous to the tree of knowledge of good and evil is what it translates to literally in English. So people usually just stop at the tree of knowledge. It's not just the tree of knowledge. It's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Surrounding that tree, and I went over this in my first episode as well, are these mushrooms. And the mushrooms are filled with a substance called luciferin and luciferase. And that gives them their glow, apparently. Whoa, hold up. I gotta recalibrate. Why was it doing that? I gotta recalibrate my camera. Sorry. So like why would they have these mushrooms around the great tree? The sacred tree in this game. Filled with a substance called luciferin and luciferase, which is very derivative of the name Lucifer, right? Unless the devil thing wasn't relevant. I was saying that was kind of like the footprint of Dark Samus, right? It's like one of those subtle footprints, and the reason why it's a subtle footprint of Dark Samus is because of the connection with her being the devil of the Metroid Prime universe. Pola Le Sorala. Pola Le Sorala. Pol al a sor ala. Pola Le Sorala are birds commonly found dancing in the skies above Soul Valley. They form flocks of up to 7 dozen and prey upon insects during flight. Their bodies are featherless and instead feature a thin membrane containing a vibrant red pigment that turns light into energy, meaning that as long as there is sunlight, they only ever need to stop for water. They will instinctively soar high into the sky in order to sunbathe. Their heads feature left and right protrusions with eyes seated at either tip, ultimately giving them a full 360 view of their surroundings. Interesting. So most of the creatures in this game, they are loosely based on creatures that you find from other games in the series. I don't know. I mean, the fact that the bodies are featherless with thin membrane containing vibrant red pigment that turns light into energy, that seems very Luminoth coded to me, but those things don't really look like Luminoth. I kind of wish I could get a better look at them because they are very far away. Very, very far away. So, Polale Sarala, weird avian creatures that have really weird form factors. The eyes kind of looked very hammerhead shark-like. Yep, gotta get the sand Shren as well. So, let's see here. Sand Shren are a variant of the Shren family, adapt to the arid climate of Soul Valley. Like other Shren, they emerge from their nest when a threat draws near, hover, then attack by charging. Due to the scarcity of water, their jaw shape evolved into a sharp, thick needle for piercing the hides of prey and drinking their body fluids. It's this needle they use to stab any threats when the Sand Shren charges. Their hind legs and wings have also evolved to have sharper shapes, further increasing the danger they pose. Yeah, fun times. Fun times. Don't let them stick you. Those are some nasty skaters. Nasty mo skaters we got in this desert here. I tell you what. That's a lot of energy beam to the face. generally easier to hit stuff with a pipe. Destroy those, or they just keep spawning. Got him. Into the volcano so we can get the fire chip. The chip of fire. Volcano looks so nice in this game, guys. Very well crafted. Yeah, these things are weird. Aerial morphology, swarm flyer. Swarm flyers live submerged in lava until they reach maturity, when their bodies begin generating a lighter-than-air gas that lifts them into the air. Once aloft, they join their peers, forming a swarm. Their propulsion is achieved by sucking air into the front of their body and expelling it from the rear, with trajectory adjustments made by redirecting the expulsion. Their internal gas dissipates after a week, and as their buoyancy fades, swarm flyers return to the place of their birth within the lava, spawn, and die. That's very sad. The circle of life, and it rules us all. Okay, so you know the stuff where like they have references to Metroid Prime hunters with little critters. Here's another one, the heat strap. The heat strap subspecies of shimmer straps live their lives attached to bare rock and volcanic caves. Rather than parasitizing a host, they absorb a diet of green energy gel seeping through the cracks and crevices. This naturally occurring form of green energy is not like its refined or concentrated counterparts, and there have been no cases reported where its absorption has resulted in rapid cellular proliferation or increases in body size. But guess what, guys? Guess what? You know what happens to these things once they absorb refined green energy? You know what these guys look like? These look like Spire's morph ball from Metroid Prime Hunters. And Spire was the big rock volcano dude with the fire grenade launcher thing as his primary weapon. So yeah, feed these things refined energy, you get the, I think they're called the Diamant aliens. But yeah, just about every single hunter, so every single hunter from Metroid Prime Hunters has a counterpart in some kind of critter here. So we found Weevils, now we just found Spires, right? That's important. That's an important detail, especially later. We'll get to that, but it's not until we're actually in Ice Belt that we'll actually see that stuff play out. Which after we get the fire chip here, we'll go back to Fury Green, we'll have Miles install it, and then we will go to Ice Belt and see if we can find yet more clues about Metroid Prime Hunters. Anything else to scan? Anything else to scan? Anything else to scan? The door. Scan the door. Ball thing there. Yeah, I remember that. Opens and closes the main pipe. Yeah, we don't deal with that thing for a good long time. More heat straps. And if you remember the shimmer straps, I actually connected those to the ing from Metroid Prime 2. Because they're crustaceans. Parasitic in nature. Just like the Ing were parasitic to the light of ether. The light of planet Ether. They also look like they vaguely look like smaller, more primordial forms of the Phase Ing from Planet Phase in Metroid Prime 3. And they even glow blue, just like the Phase Ing. Oh. Yes. And the green energy flowing in the lava. So the natural stuff is fine. It's all right. But the refined version, not so much. Kind of like a lot of things. A good example is the coca leaf. Even to this day, people in South America make tea from coca leaves. It'll give you kind of the equivalent of a caffeine boost, right? Because it's got a stimulant in it. But when you refine the coca leaf, you get a very illicit and not so legal substance that you probably shouldn't touch. The same argument could be made with white sugar, because the refinement process is actually very similar between them. So the Lemourne wouldn't have been bad if they had used all natural, organically harvested green energy. But instead they decided to refine it, which ended up turning them into demons. Turning them into creatures. Let's just scan this stuff. Yeah, bridge is out, can't move. Yeah, emergency bridge reaction trigger the facility. This route will remain impassable until a new bridge is installed, which is not going to happen because there's. Do you see any Lemourne engineers here? Ain't no Lemourne engineers here. Oh, don't drive in the lava. Don't drive in the. Samus, get. You actually just melt and die. I'm sure a good number of you are familiar with that. That's always fun. Open the door, we backtrack a little, and then a new door will open to us. Then we gotta destroy the cybots that come out. Wait, can I? That is so much faster. When you're here next, guys, just like beat these guys with the bike. Don't even hop off the bike. That was a lot faster. I still took a fair amount of damage because I still got hit twice and they do like 50 damage apiece. But yeah. All right, so this guy, this scary looking duder, ow, that's kind of extra aggressive and doesn't like me. This is the primordial version of Trace from Metroid Prime Hunters. He's red, he got little claws, he liked to lunge at you. Yeah, this is the primordial version of Trace. Look at him in all of his itty-bitty primordial glory here. And Trace was the sniper in Metroid Prime Hunters. So. Pedestrian door terminal. Use to power the door on and off. Currently set to on. So the Cybots opened the door for us conveniently. It was very dumb of them to do, but they did it. More safe station. What says me? Get in the safe station. I didn't even read the scan for the little trace monster. I have to read the scan. Oh, here, there's another one. There's another one right there. All right, reptile morphology, Vernon. Vernon, a reptile variant found in hot climates such as the caves of Magdrada volcano. Though they are reptiles, they share some features with mammals, such as hair on their backs instead of scales. Using the 2 tusks in its jaw and the tusk growing from its forehead, it will firmly grasp rocks and then melt them with corrosive digestive fluids from its mouth. This will create a gas that the Vernon then consume for energy. Ew, creepy. So yeah, those things are vaguely Kraken coded, right? Because the Kraken is the race of Trace from Metroid Prime Hunters. There's my fire chip. Lamorne plasma torch cuts metal using high heat arc plasma used to slice waste materials into manageable sizes. Awesome. Lamorne demolition crane, industrial equipment for extracting recyclable materials from waste, equipped with plasma torch. Waste material from the energy facility. Analysis implies that difficulty stacking the material led to disposal through burial instead. Much like the way we dispose of radioactive material from nuclear fission reactors, which power many cities throughout the world. So, not so green anymore. Arthropod morphology, pyromite. All right. Pyromites are a type of single-eyed crustacean who crawl on 8 large clawed legs. They can be found in the Magdrada volcano. They're capable of creating an explosion from the top of their heads by mixing air with flammable gas they produce inside of their bodies, compressing the mixture, then igniting it through rapid heat generation. If they detect intruders in their territory, they will launch out of the ground, rapidly approach the intruder, and then trigger an explosion. If they take critical damage, they can trigger a similar explosion by igniting any remaining gas within their body to self-destruct. This behavior is true even when a pyromite succumbs to illness or old age, resulting in few examples of pyromite remains. They go boom. They like to do the boom. Now, they also do a lot of damage. Hi there, fellas. Ladies and fellas. No. There we go. So, jump up here. Jump up here. And jump up here. And then we go in here. This took me way too long to figure out in the original game, by the way. Way too long in my first playthrough. This is probably where I got stuck for the longest, because I went to Ice Belt first, and then I realized, oh no, I need the plasma thing that I found in the volcano earlier. But how do I get it out of the thing? And I was in here for like probably something like 30-40 minutes trying to figure out how on earth do I get the fire chip. I didn't know it was called the fire chip, but yep, level 4 engineer. Miles, we got the thing. We need you to shove the fire chip thing into my arm cannon thing, and then we will get a new thing that we haven't gotten before, except we kind of did get it in Metroid Prime 1 in the form of the plasma beam. Plasma beam would have been like a hyper refinement that was like much better at its job of murder and destruction of space pirates. Scanner drones. Scanner drones are autonomous robots created to help maintain the Voltforge vehicle factory. They're equipped with a small anti-gravity engine, enabling free movement while in the air. Their X-ray camera inspects factory equipment, sending repair requests to maintenance tanks if a malfunction is detected. While programmed mainly for maintenance tasks, they are also equipped with a beam weapon to combat threats to itself or other nearby drones. V says, do what I do when I can't figure something out in a game. Google comes to my rescue. I don't like immediately resorting to Google. I don't know. I feel like back when I played Metroid Prime 1, I didn't have that luxury. I either had to buy a player's guide, suffer through long wait times with dial-up internet, or I just had to figure it out. And honestly, I just preferred the figure it out method. That's just me, though. If you guys value your time more than I do and you just want to get from point A to point B, by all means. By all means, at the road. Look up a guide online. I really only do that unless I get like mega stuck somewhere. And I won't be able to go back through there for a good long time. Whee! Alright, now we go out of the volcano. And then we go to Ice Belt, which is my favorite biome in the game. And it comes with my favorite NPC in the game. Look, I understand that Miles McKenzie might be a little annoying. He is a smidge annoying. I will concede that to you. However, if you go back to base camp frequently and you listen to the dialogue stuff, there are literally some like laugh out loud moments from Miles in his dialogue with other characters at base camp. Particularly once you get View 995 or V. He's the giant robot friend that you get toward the end of the game.
Looks like you found some reborn technology in Flip. I'm pretty good with machines. Want to bring it back to base camp so I can take a look?
Working on it, Miles. Yeah, so a lot of people were just like, yeah, this guy's insufferable. I can't. I'm already going there. I'm already doing it. Shut up, Miles. But like, yeah, he is somewhat annoying. But he also has a good amount of charm if you bother to get to know his character more than just through his, pestering. Binky, binky, bonk. Yeah. We going back to base camp. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing, Miles. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Miles. See, Samus got a plan for you. No, with the subject matter in this, you don't even have to change the lyric. You just don't you worry, Miles. See, heaven's got a plan for you. Don't you worry now. Yeah, because my running theory for this game is that everyone's dead. Everyone is dead. The reason why there's a scorching desert with a bunch of howling, ghostly voices on the wind is because this is Purgatory. Metroid Purgatory. Everyone's dead, including Samus and all of her Federation friends, as well as the Lemorn. That's just how it is. We're gonna collect some green crystals to save us some headaches later on. And we'll deal with the Sand Grievers as well. Griever variant adapted to Soul Valley. Sand Grievers are Grievers adapted to the arid environment of Soul Valley. To conserve stamina and moisture, they will bury themselves in the sand and lie in wait for prey. When they sense the sound of a potential target moving on the sand, they leap out in ambush. Like other forms of Grievers, they're very nimble and attack with claws or by spitting venom. They rarely attack alone and prefer to move in groups. Each group will have several territories that they will rotate at regular intervals should a powerful threat appear. All groups may form into one and cooperate to eliminate the antagonist. Bum, bum, bum. It's always like infinitely faster to deal with these guys. So it's usually faster. Sit down, boy. Yeah, but we're going to collect green crystals a little bit early so we can save ourselves some headache later. Also, you get a really nice power beam upgrade. That's like the main reason to collect green crystals is the power beam upgrade that you get is absolutely insane. It's so good. And also, there's a missile expansion over here. Assuming you didn't get it. I don't think I got it. Yeah, I got it on my first try. When I did that the first time, I had to do that jump like literally a dozen times. Like actually a dozen times. And it was quite good. But I got it on my first try. Better this game. Wow. See, the collection of green crystals is all about the mind state. Yes, it is tedious. I'm not gonna lie. There's a certain degree of tedium in there. But if you just let yourself go into, you know, kind of a zen-like state, just enjoy. Just you know, sit back and take in the purgatory scenery all around you. Then it makes it a lot more bearable. Oh man, people complaining about the music here in Soul Valley is always wild to me. Because they're like, they locked the music behind an amiibo, or you have to beat the game and then play the game again in order to get the music. How dare they hide the music? The howling voices of the damned is what you're supposed to hear in this place. That was always the intention, because Samus is dead and this is perfect. There would be a lot less significance to her getting back home if that wasn't the case. Because the narrative significance that's there is absolutely insane. Oof, ow. Ooh, that Woo. Oh. Admittedly, dual stick controls for the bike is much better. I kind of wish there was a way to switch. It's the camera control like gets a little tricky, a little unwieldy. You can't always get it to turn to see where you're going exactly where you need it to. Oh. You also got a massive power slide of like just pressing ZL. You don't. I don't mean like the power slide that you get from when you boost. I'm talking about the power slide that you get from when you just pressing the ZL button and you scoot across the scene. Or when they're in this high a concentration, it's better to get off. Okay, so these. Got him. Alright, so there's more crystals over there, but we'll just take the ones that we can get along the periphery of our path. Save us a little time later. If you take the green crystals in little bite-sized chunks, it's a lot more pleasant. We don't want to go the long way over there until we get the actual Fwump. Open sesame. All right, so now we're gonna launch ourselves in the giant cannon. Houston, we are go for launch. Rotating cannon. Right into the sun's corona. Or not, no, toward the tree. We're going toward the tree. Ka-chunk. Also, these cannons look like Sylux's arm cannon. So, obviously, something with the technology here. Launching us into the sky with insane precision. You know, similar to the precise trajectory that we fire, you know, supercharged particles through the Large Hadron Collider. And then we land nice and safe in the Fury Green. Alright, now we go over here because we got a missile expansion. And now we got the double jump, we can grab it. We just jump up here and we grab it. Nice. Good stuff. Whee. Go back down. Come back up. Okay, so these things... they're called homing spores, but these are the primordial versions of phazon puffers. I wasn't able to make that connection before, but phazon puffers are on planet Phase in Metroid Prime 3. And they're actually helpful because they drain you of phazon energy, which at that point in the game you're on phazon energy overload, and you don't want to get too much phazon energy, otherwise you just end up turning into Dark Samus. Storage locker, yeah, that requires the shocky weapon. Can't do that. Miles!
Welcome back, Samus.
Miles, my main man.
Found in Flare Pool.
Uh-huh. Here it is.
All right, what do you got?
There you go, buddy.
Looks like a circuit, and it seems like there's a chip inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me analyze it. Leborn tech is really interesting. Oh, this is fascinating. I see. This program converts the energy that the device emits into thermal energy and highly amplifies it. If I tweak it and integrate it into your arm cannon, you should be able to use another new shot type.
Yeet. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Ta-da! Give her a try.
Yep. Kaboom! Right into the sky. Fire shard acquired. Got it. High heat rounds. Let's go.
You can now use the fire shot.
Federation military hard cases and folding table. One leg appears to be broken. The case being used as a substitute. I scanned Miles, right? Yep, I scanned Miles. How did I not scan this? Okay, so now we can open that door that's over here.
Burn it all down with fire shot.
Working on it, Miles. Hi there. You wanna taste my new weapon? I am fire weapons. And this is my breath. Gotta love that passive fire damage. Yeet. Alright, so now we got a little poozle. Got a little poozly posel. Oh yeah, that's right.
If you have not yet mastered elemental power, come first to this place to learn and discover what the device has to teach. The one who wields well the power of elements shall explore to the ends of the world and deepen their knowledge of it.
A large gate barring access to the chamber, activation. Okay, so that one's not poetic or alien. That's just a door.
My name is Havin. More than a Lemorn priest, I am one who freely commands the elements.
Havin. Kind of like heaven, right? Right? There's a lot of themes of heaven and hell and purgatory in these games.
The element of fire burst forth into this world. It was the first element the Lemorn learned to control. You must know its origins to be its master.
Hip, 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 hip. All right, that's Shocky Door. Can't go through Shocky Door yet. There we go. Pressure plate trigger providing linked ring with psychic energy. The plate will sink if stood upon, which activates the mechanism. So a lot of people kind of got tied up here for a little while. Just scan stuff. Just read it. It's pretty simple and straightforward once you do that. All right. Bam. Okay, and then we have to move it. Come on, move it there. Oh, and then I gotta go all the way around. Bring it around town. Bring it around town. There we go. Door open. And now we get the giant statue of Havin. Heaven. I don't know exactly how you pronounce that, but stone statue of a Lemorn priest. Its inscription reads,
When Havin holds the three elements, the chosen one shall bear a new light of life.
Now, when I first came here, I thought what that meant is like I would get like some variant of the light suit from that. Not entirely. You get an energy tank. So, you know, the light of life, the life force energy of the Metroid Prime universe. You get it from here. Oh, there's an ice door here too, I forgot. Okie dokie. Onward and upward. I should probably backtrack and go get me some power up, shouldn't I? That's the only one there that I know, but I need the shocking weapon for that.
Hi, Samus. Welcome back.
Did I get... I need to check if I got the morph ball bomb thing here. Let's see. Morph ball bomb thing. I probably haven't made any progress on those, but we'll drop them off. We'll drop off the green crystals just for good measure. There you go. Nom nom nom, tasty green crystals. Bing. That's very little. Based on what I saw there. Yeah, very, very little, teeny tiny. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing invading this space? This is hallowed ground, you freaks. There we go. I think if this is open, that means I got it. Yeah, here are the ants. Yeah, I think there was a missile expansion or something of that nature. This room, I think. Yeah. Yep, there's a fire thing. Jumpy and got shot expansion. Nice. Plus 10 ammo. Do. That's about the extent of that. I don't think there's any other power-ups hidden. Squealy wheely willy lily 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 lily. I hate that sound, man. I really don't like that sound. I don't like the sound. Dun, 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 dun. Coconut mall in my head. I don't know why coconut mall's in my head.
Samus, welcome back. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
I'm gonna go get you a friend, Miles. Don't you worry. You're not gonna be alone by yourself. Not the whole time. Only extremely powerful explosives, but I need a super missile, and that's not until the Great Mines, so. Got him. Taking the long way across the bridge. We need power-ups. Believe it or not, Morph Ball is ever so slightly faster than walking. Kind of already had maybe not when going upstairs. Other times. so last time I went through here, more spider webs inside of water. Then we're gonna go back to the area with all the devil shrooms and all the darkness and the dankness, and then this is where we first saw that weird bug thing that looked like Candon. Here's the devil shrooms. This is one of the most important scans in the game. Does not get a logbook entry. So if you want to pause it here, read that. Luciferin and luciferase. Everybody. Spooky stuff. And this is supposed to be, map-wise, this is supposed to be around the roots of the great tree. So this big cylinder that rises up. This is the tree, right? And this is the tree's base. So this is all throughout the root system of the great tree, essentially. The devil lurking at the root of all things. The devil is in the details. Also, if you really look at the Grievers, their bodies, their like physiognomy is very Dark Samus coded. They might be yellow, but isn't Samus herself yellow, and doesn't Dark Samus aspire to take Samus's place as the chosen one? Power up. Shot expansion. All right, and then we can remove. There we go. Remove the marker. Bingy bong, bingy bong. Yeah, and if you look at these mushrooms look like phazon mushrooms. These tall ones. Right here, these bluish ones, and then also these. Those also look like phazon mushrooms. They're just small and primordial. To be honest, the weird little Candon bug being skewered on here, I'm still trying to, like, discern the visual metaphor, the visual metaphorical significance of that. I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to mean. I just know that this is like the primordial version of Candon, and I don't know, man. That happens, and then very soon after we come across Miles. Does that mean Miles is Candon? Does Miles get transformed into Candon? I don't know. Based on the physique, I would think that Sarge is more likely the one that gets turned into Candon. But either way, lots of weird, ominous foreshadowing in this place. The sacred tree. Open sesame. All right, we got out of there. That thing whipped one of them to death. So these things, these are a lot more aggressive than their forms in Metroid Prime 2. but like the containers that contain all of the energy and the little missile refills and all that kind of stuff, they look like these. These things are just from Torvus Bog. Turns out as those things evolved, they became less aggressive. Unlike most of the things in this game. Once they evolved, they became a lot more aggressive. Missile expansion acquired. Maximum missile capacity. Goodness. Recenter that. Save station. Now we got to save. 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 Gonna save our game. Gonna save our game. Gonna save our game. Gonna save our game. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Squealy wheelie wheelie wheelie. More of your squealy wheelies. Even the doors here evolved into the doors of Planet Phase. If you didn't know, if you haven't watched the first episode, I went on and on and on about how Euros is just Planet Phase. It's in a state of quantum superposition. People are like, oh, but Phase got destroyed. How could Vuros possibly be phased? Because of, my friend, the concept of quantum superposition. Quantum superposition allows two things to be true at the same time. So, Vuros, the uncorrupted version of Planet Phase, as well as Planet Phase, the corrupted version of Planet Vuros, they can both exist simultaneously in a state of superposition. But one must always reflect the opposite of the other. That's how superposition works. Alright, so we got this. Don't need that no more. Through here. More whippy burrs. Power up in here. There, buddy. No lungy slappy. Don't like that. Yep. More power ups. Bringus bonkity, bringus bonk. So yes, I am going the long way out of Vuros, but it's because, or the long way out of Fury Green. That's because, one, it's beautiful scenery, very well crafted. It looks so good. So that's one reason. Second reason, the music's incredible. Third reason, we backtrack and we get a bunch of power-ups. Here's the Scooty Wheelie. I don't see you. See you on my face. Oh, you're glitched into the floor. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, you really gotta scan those glister beetles once the grievers show up. They're not there yet. Are those one of the missable scans in this game? Or can you find those glister beetles here? I mean, I know know I scanned them, so I'm not like fretting too much over it. I think I need power bombs to get this, but there's a thing in that statue. There's a power up in that there statue. We'll put a skull because it's particularly dangerous. That's a morph ball power bomb upgrade, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall there being any other thingies here. I did miss this scan, I'm pretty sure. And this is a lore entry.
To the Lemon headed for the Temple of Memory. Gaze deeply, listen carefully, calm your mind, and take the first step here.
So, here's gamers, this is the devs keying you in on how you should approach this game. Gaze deeply, listen carefully, calm your mind, and take the first step here. Yeah.
To my Lemon brethren, you are welcome in this sacred land, full of greenery and life. Visit the Temple of Memory, kneel at its altar, and honor all those who came before. The thoughts, wishes, and dreams of our people came together at the base of the sacred tree. We hope one day that the bounty reaches far and wide.
Which is exactly why Shay, the Dark Lemon priestess who becomes Dark Samus eventually, planted all those devil mushrooms at the base of the sacred tree. Or at least she took those sacred mushrooms, the mushrooms of the morning star, and corrupted them to something horrible. Okay, so I went this way because there's also a power up in these hallways. Yeah, over here. Web crawler nested material. The elasticity of threading dampens impacts and stops standard firearms. Highly flammable. Hey, it's Shy Old Soul, but I'm guessing based on the avatar that's Yuri from of Crosspad Castle Discord fame, correct? Am I correct in assuming that? I'm gonna have to put another note on your Discord name if that's it. No, I don't dox people. I hope that Yuri's not your real name. If so, I'll stop saying it. Oh goodness. All right, we got another power up. I just got my fire beam so I can burn stuff. I can incinerate things. I can immolate my enemies. That is crazy. So the way that the light is distributing here is having... Oh, that's that weird, like, quantum effect. As it's passing through the crystal there. So I know that water naturally does this, but light doesn't do this normally unless you refract it and you do some really weird, like quantum particle stuff to the water. Like, water does it naturally. And there are certain substances that do it naturally, but as far as I know, there aren't any crystals that do it naturally. That's such a cool effect, man. This game looks amazing. Oh, last time you had your real... I won't finish that sentence. I won't finish that sentence. Okay, so the cannon's gonna shoot me back to Fury Green. I don't want to do that. I don't think there are any other power-ups in here, if I'm not mistaken. I can't fully remember. So that's like a barrier. Is Fury Green's like lush biome? Because that is a very drastic shift right there. Is Fury Green's lush biome protected by some kind of barrier? Did the sun like really do that much damage? That's scary, man. The sun with the massive corona on planet Virus, as the Lemorn pronounce it, like a virus. If you're not connecting the dots there, let me just say the word corona, and then immediately after that, I'm going to say the word virus. There's so many visual metaphors, both like relevant to real life as well as Metroid Prime's lore. It's crazy. Oh boy, more refined green energy to make the planet more awful and hostile to my presence. Thanks, Sylux, I appreciate that. Love you, buddy. You're a good egg. Oh, it's angry are so yicky when they start growing their muscle mass. I'm speaking their language so that they don't attack me quite as harshly as they would. Yep, Sandshrin. Still the same entry, but they're a lot more dangerous. We're just gonna move right along past you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, it's so scary. You really only get to see the desert like this at this point in the game. And it's so ominous. It's so creepy. It's like a big ring in the sky, and then it like very quickly dissipates. Oh man. And then the howling ghostly voices of the damned come back in to haunt us. Oh. Motion control's not the most ideal for this. Yeah, this is the fire one, right? Yeah, so I can go in here and get more power-ups. By the way, there's a loading box? What do you mean a loading box? Are you talking about a loading box on my screen, on my stream? Hold on. No, I can see myself streaming just fine. If there's a loading box, you might want to try and refresh or something. Down we go. I kind of want to be sparing with that. Although I'm gonna have to be extra careful because I think I missed one of the power-ups inside of this place. A lot of green crystals. Oh yeah, I forgot about these things. Hey, stop. Stop it. Stop it. These are like the miniature versions of the Guardian, huh? They have like little eyes and faces. It's weird. It's so weird. It makes me wonder if they're going to add more hunters in a future game. That would be really cool. If we got like a little spidery hunter. I mean, Trace was kind of that a little bit in Metroid Prime Hunters, but like didn't quite have that aesthetic. These things are so much more like thick boy, spidery things. Plus a very like grapple-centric hunter would be really cool from like a gameplay perspective. If it was like grapple and spider ball centric. Nice. Oh, it's up there. I forgot how we get up there, though. Yeah, it's a full-on energy tank, too. Okay, so I knew I was hearing the... That's how we get up there. Morph ball double jump for the win. Gonna get me an energy tank. Yes. Go back in the hole. Go back in the little hidey hole. Wants me to scan the door, and my OCD demands that, yeah. Use telekinesis to move the PK stone from the top of the door. PK stone! It's like Ness. It was always here. Ness is from the Metroid universe, confirmed. Pull up my own stream on a different tab and I'll see it. Re-entering the stream doesn't fix it. What in the world? Loading box. Okay, live stream. Go here. Testing. There is a loading box. What on earth? What is that from? What on earth is that from? And how do I get rid of? Hold on. Hold up. It's something in here? There we go. Now I feel bad. That's been sitting there for how long in the stream? All right, well, it's fixed now. I'm glad it wasn't like massive or super obtrusive, but the fact that it was there the whole, like, for most of the stream kind of gives me the ick. I don't like that. Sacred Lemorn pottery used by Lemorn pilgrims. Oh yes. Oh, my super fire launcher, my charged fire shot. I like this weapon. I enjoy using this weapon quite a bit. Yeah, it's gone now because I turned it off. It was actually something that was like in my OBS stuff. It was just like subtle enough to where I didn't notice while I was testing the stream. That makes me so annoyed at myself. Shouldn't be there the next time. I wish someone else had told me sooner. And these little orbs looks like the light of ether from Metroid Prime 2. Large amounts of psychic energy detected in the crystal in the statue's forehead. Analysis implies this charge produces the energy field for teleportation. Uh-huh. Makes me wonder if these are statues of Shay. Wow. Shay would have developed these teleporters. Very much looks like the teleporters from Metroid Prime 3 that transport you between Brio Fire and Brio Ice. Pedestrian door for the vehicle gate. Internal circuitry is damaged, causing a short with sensor non-functional. The door cannot be opened. This is exactly why you need the psychic boots before you come here, so you can get up this. Up, up, up. I was wondering what it was when I was waiting for it to load. There was nothing to load. That's left over from when Rogue and I were able to sync up our stream times. By the way, Rogue is also doing her own little channel thing. It's called The Book Elf 64. So if you guys want to check out that, you can actually go into the Discord and look at Rogue's channel. And I actually need to change it to the Book Elves channel. But yeah, she kind of redesigned her little rogue character to be a little elf that does books, which, I mean, that does track, you know, like elves and rogue classes in like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff do tend to go hand in hand. So, you know, could be that the Book Elf's, you know, vigilante anti-hero persona is the rogue. Or is it? The world may never know. Skytram for wheeled vehicles transports loaded cargo vehicles between Soul Valley and Icebelt online and operational. Viola cannot be summoned here. I wonder if they originally intended to make a Viola track here. They just, like, didn't get around to it. This game was in development for a very long time. And they definitely did not get to implement 100% of the things that they wanted to implement. I love Icebelt, though. I love Icebelt so much. Icebelt is so cool. It's my favorite biome, and it has my favorite NPC from this game. Can't wait to go back and do it again. So I love Icebelt. Pedestrian door often install larger gates that bar or grant vehicles access. It will open if the sensor detects beam energy or an explosive shock. Binky binky bonk. Binky dingy bonk. Bungy bungy bink. Okay, lots to scan here. That's where we're going to get the ice chip for our ice beam cryopod airtight container installed with independent cooling system for preserving an organism at extremely low temperatures. Its circuitry is exposed. Grapple crane used for heavy-duty loading and unloading. Its claw attachment grabs and moves cargo. Foreshadowing for the grapple lasso that we get here in Icebelt. Vehicle, light delivery truck, transport designed to make light turns with the facility. Light turns within the facility. It's equipped with special tires for driving on frozen ground. Small laboratory container. Large laboratory container. Gate is linked to bomb slot. The hatch will release when powered by the connected slot, which is there. There we go. More missile for me. We want to get more missile. Missile make journey much easier. Though nobody said that Metroid Prime 4 journey would be easier. It's getting kind of frigid in here. My brain associates frigid climates with Russians. A lot of Hollywood cliches built in there. maybe, I don't know if it's a good idea to lean in so much, but, you know, it is silly. Progress saved. Energy fully replenished. Waka 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 waka. Okay, then we gotta go in here. In here. Then we got a missile here. Right. Oh, missile. And then we got a psychic visor here. Then we gotta shoot here. Then we gotta go around here with the beam. With the laser beam. Then we bonk that, and then the door opens. Binky dink bonk. We are big brained. Grapple crane control terminal controls the crane. Currently offline. It draws power from the linked spinner, which I do not have. I don't have the boost ball, so I can't use that yet. But we open the door. So when we come back later, we won't have to do that again. More critters. Crustacean morphology, ice crawler. Ice crawlers are land-dwelling crustacean found in several areas of ice belt. They are well adapted to the frigid climate and can naturally prevent their cells and fluids from freezing using chemicals such as glucose. Though they are covered in spines, the shell beneath is not very durable and can be penetrated by standard firearms. Ice crawlers do not actively hunt and instead feed upon bugs and small animals that happen to collide with their spines. Because of this passive approach to predation, they move constantly, albeit within a limited area. Countless sharp spines on their large legs provide traction, allowing them to attach themselves to bedrock and move along ice walls. I'm not entirely sure what this is like a primordial version of, or if it's a primordial version at all. I do know that the boss in this place is very much based on these thingies. But I'm not going to shoot them, because they're generally benign. So don't bother. Okay, yeah, this is that part. I gotta use my psychic beam here. Cryopod appears to have been abandoned. Its cooling system lost power and failed. Sad. This place looks so good, so nice. I don't know what it is about certain game dev companies and just making really cool looking ice biomes, but Phendrana Drifts, Ice Belt, all of them are just cool. I just think they're neat. Cryopod transport system. Cable transport system runs between the laboratory and the crane loading area. Non-operational. Very sad once you learn the backstory of those. Off-grid LED guide light fuses oxygen and hydrogen from the surrounding environment, generating heat, light, and electricity. Nifty. That is very nifty. Okay, so we need to mark the location of this. Nope. Mark the location of that. Press the A button to mark. Remember where this is. This thing's very important. Mechanoid scout bots. Tell us where all the power-ups are late game. Also power up here. Ice that is thickened over time. It can be melted using high-temperature tools. Like that! Shot expansion acquired. Oh, goodness. Okay. Samus, don't... recalibrate there. Don't be spinning around like a crazy person. Okay, time to wolf. I gotta remember to scan these, especially if I die. Awesome. Canis morphology snow wolf. The snow wolf is a quadrupedal creature native to the frigid ice belt. Carnivorous hunters. They patrol their territory in packs of several dozen. Upon finding prey, they will surround it to prevent escape, whereupon groups of especially ferocious young males will take turns attacking one after the other. Once their prey has fallen, they typically feast in a hierarchical order, starting with the alpha, with a portion reserved for the pregnant females and the pack's youngest members. High metabolism enables their bodies to generate heat very efficiently, enabling long treks across their territory. Unfortunately, this means they struggle to adapt to hot environments and will succumb quickly if confronted with high heat weaponry. Okay. Goodness sake. Whoa, 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 that took a lot of my health. Goodness. I can only take one more hit. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, I survived long enough, apparently. Yeah, get him, boy! He just that random stranger just saved Samus's life. Oh, I got 5 energy left. I don't know if I left any energy over here for myself. Did I not? Nope, I didn't. Oops. Oopsie, that was a big whoops. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Ow, the pain! Oh, we limping across the snow. I can't scan the turret. Just don't touch any stray little ice duders. All right, we up to 105. We got a whoopee, right? I think. Yep. Whoopee. That's just inaccessible. Door with no power. Yep. Drone buddies. Computer's not powered on. That's a shocky door we can't go in. More help. All right, where's my buddy? Where's my guy? Where's my homeboy? I'm not sure he would know how to take being called homeboy or being referred to as homeboy. This is my favorite NPC in the game.
All clear. I never thought I'd meet the legendary bounty hunter, Samus, in a place like this. Corporal Rieger Tokabi. Fed Sniper, Herc Unit Delta. It's good to finally cross paths with you, but tell me, where are we? We were deep in gunfire. I lost visuals, then woke with a busted comms unit and a leg to match. Now, I tried to access this terminal, but the only thing I could get operational was the gun. That's it. Then I see this here. What do you make of it?
Access code approved. Displaying hologram schematic of the laboratory. Hologram interactivity initialized.
Oh, you were able to activate this. A map of the facility. But it's corrupted. Ah, you want to go there. In that case, this elevator is the only way down. But the power's offline. One moment. There. That must be the generator room. I think we can bring it back to life.
Get it done, Tokabi. Let's do it.
All right, you have the map. I'm no good with this leg, so I'll have to keep an eye on you from here. Luck be with you.
All right, got the map. Got the Tokabi, got the map. We're good to go. All right, check the power generator. Scan Tokabi. Galactic Federation Sniper, Rieger Tokabi. Corporal Rieger Tokabi is a sniper in the Galactic Federation. Once a hunter working on remote worlds, he volunteered for Federation service in the hopes of finding stability. He enjoys solitude and dislikes working with others, always preferring to go on missions solo without a spotter. The Tokabi family has worshipped the god Solon for generations, Rieger included. He is never without his arrowhead-shaped talisman, and strongly believes his continued survival is only because of its protection. Unfortunately, his beliefs are often in conflict with his missions and their use of his talents, which is a source of much loathing and personal strife. There's so many connotations to that. I've got a big theory, but I don't necessarily want to reveal it until I'm toward the end of the game.
I can't go with you because of my leg. I'll have to stay here.
Okie dokie, you have fun. I'll go do all the heavy lifting.
Least I can do.
Open the door now. The door now open. Safety hatch for cryopod transport designed to open as pod passes through. Its metals have deteriorated and begun to warp. A strong shock will destroy it. Like that. Down we go. Whee! Boom. Gotta do the superhero landing every time. It's mandatory. When you're as cool as Samus, it's mandatory. Tight container, yeah. We got the cryopods. Yeah, these little things, like I was saying, there are little hints to every single hunter from Metroid Prime Hunters. This is Noxus. These little roachy duders are the primordial forms of an alien race known as the Vozon, which are supposed to be like kind of protectors of the universe. But right now, they're snow roaches. Snow roaches are omnivorous arthropods found indoors or underground in cold climates. They form large groups and upon finding food will secrete a pheromone that draws more of their kind. Their shell on their back is bioluminescent, creating a beacon for them to gather around in dark places. Their body fluids contain antifreeze proteins, fortifying them against low temperatures. They also have a high intracorporeal pressure, which raises their body temperature but causes them to burst at the slightest impact. So you shoot, they go pop. Thanks for the health, little baby Noxus. Noxai. I can farm more health from this. I'm not really giving any more. Thick ice sheet. I didn't get him. I was so close, but I didn't get him. Come on. That's annoying. All right, well. This is thickened over time. Okay. Good. Forward. I need to get those scanned. But the little bat-like creatures in these games that always like suicide bomb you like that, ow. Laboratory door. Airtight door designed and installed in the machine era. Alright, yeah, got it. I got it. It's a door. Psychic lock unit developed during the Psychic era blocks passages with a wall of psychic energy. These locks can be released using collected TK codes. I'm guessing that means telekinetic codes? Okay, so that's one of the locks that can be pulled off by the grapple lassos. Floor security terminal. Yeah, so this was like the security monitor thing. I remember that. The lore! Accessing encrypted file. Research diary day 1. Endeavor. LMH, whatever that number is.
My name is Tagrun. I am a researcher at this facility. I am writing this to have a record of my experiments. When the great tragedy occurred, many fled the danger within the research center. However, at the guidance of Priest Chatoya, a few of us stayed in order to perform analysis of and experimentation on the Griever anatomy. Our hope is to reverse the transformation by administering a solution of processed green energy to subjects brought to the facility. I want to believe we can succeed.
Processed green energy. But it was the green energy that turned them into grievers in the first place. So, I don't know. Adding more of the bad to fix the bad is probably not the best line of thinking. It's locked. Yeah, that ice is too permanently frosted on there. Ruptured pipes, the wall of leaded frozen liquid obstructing the door's control hologram on this side. The door can be opened from the other side. I hear the whom 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 of a power-up. Nope, that one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. What did I miss? What scan did I miss? I missed a scan, obviously. Ah. Hello there. Alright, got the bomb slot. So we restore some cursory power to the system, yes? Yeah. Reroute the auxiliary power. Alright, security terminal. Now we unlock the doors. Bing, ding, bing, bong. Alright, there we go.
Samus, you hear me? I patched into the facility speakers. I can use them to communicate. I noticed that several rooms were unlocked at once. That was you, wasn't it? Nice. Proceed with caution. You never know what's lurking.
I don't have any problem with Tokabi chiming in. Not even a little bit. Tokabi is the coolest. And I wish I could play it. But no, everyone in the Metroid fan base has to be like, no, these NPCs are dumb. I don't like these NPCs. Oh, man. I forgot how these morph balls, if you watch, look at how it's like going through a portal. The way that they designed those. They did not have to go that hard with how they designed those. It's crazy, man. Yeah, that's a lock lasso unit, and that's the door. That's the grapple lasso. Psychic lasso. Got it. La 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 la. Awesome. Maintenance tanks, yeah, those are just tracks. Yeah. Always using the motion controls on that. It never gets old. It's always satisfying, even in Metroid Prime 3. It's satisfying in this game. It's satisfying in Metroid Prime 3. All of it is just super fun. Blam. Alright, now I can get the power up this. Woo! Dark ball elevator. Roll on over here. Rolling. Keep that more rolling. Oh, there's another track I didn't grapple. Let me go back down. I got too excited. I had too much haste. Yoink! I'm gonna be very annoyed at myself if there's a third one that I have to grapple that I didn't bother, because again... Shot expansion. That's what we wanted. That's what we were looking for. Okay. Roll it back. Roll it back. Come on through here. Go down here like it's a portal. Super trippy going through those morph ball thingies. Those morph ball hallways. Morph ball pipes. Cylinders. No, I have to scan like 3 things. I forgot there's things I gotta yoink off Mucus. Scan you. Sample vial containing a TK code. What? How do I do this again? I don't remember. Almost. Why didn't it... It was like gonna assemble and then it was like... No, I'm gonna disassemble. Huh? There we go. That is tricky, man. TK code fragment collected. What's in that vial, though? DNA sample ID G486, sequence state incomplete, host state stable. Those are like green energy crystal things. One of two. I don't remember which room the other one's in. Got that. Those weevily thingies. There's number 2. Cell multiplication is within normal value range. So they were dosing little critters on the planet with green energy. Alright, got your telekinetic codes. Got it.
Whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep it up.
We making progress. Hi there. No. How have I not scanned you? Light maintenance tank. Light maintenance tank is a smaller model that was developed to perform repairs and other work in pipes and passageways, too narrow for its standard counterpart. They were mainly deployed to the biological research facility in Icebelt. While being smaller and lighter allows for faster movement than the standard model. This comes at the cost of having weaker armor, however. If threatened, they are fitted with the same standard welding beam and are also able to emit a high voltage shock at close range. Stop being little crabbies. Right, save station. Awesome. So we're saving the progress. All right. Now that we've gotten a save, we've talked about all the various theories at the beginning of the stream. I'm gonna have to call this there. We're gonna go over more stuff as it comes up throughout the game. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, both on Twitch and YouTube. Toodles, everybody. Night night. Sweet dreams. Don't let the space pirates bite. And for those of you on the other side of the world, I guess it's not sleep time for you, and that's okay. Anyway, have a good one, guys.